Has got the lead up to 9 now for the Longhorns.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Now here's Curry. We've got 1:48 left to play in the second half. And again, it's Texas converting.
Just carrying the load right now offensively, guys. He is not wasting any chances.
From where I sit, Greg, it's a simple deduction. If they want things to be easy on themselves here late, make sure he has the ball.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
We've got 1:23 left to play here in the second half. Now the feed to Davis. Curry passes to Richmond. Texas moving it around. Shot clock at 5. Davis kicks to Hudson. Here's Curry, and again it's Texas converting.
And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Longhorns.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
They knocked down their shots. I mean, a little luck didn't hurt either. A lot of their 50-50 shots went in the basket.
And when you look back at this one, what an amazing performance this was for Curry. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
You know, sometimes you can see how a player can lead on the floor from the sidelines, and you see that with Freak. I mean, he's got the skills and athleticism as a point guard, in addition to the leadership, too.
And, guys, people often underestimate just how important leadership is. You know, there's no stat for that. But guys like Chris Paul and Steph Curry have incredible skill, but their leadership on the floor is equally as important. Freak is a floor general.
Execution, fellas. Do your job. Freak, you're our leader out there. Execute.
UConn with the ball. They trail by 9 points. Howard dishes to Posey. Again, the miss by the Huskies. Thornton passes to Curry.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
A 3 off the inbound, and again it's the Longhorns from deep.
And they're not finished just yet. They're going to make sure about this one.
Yeah, not taking any chances, Greg. This is how you close a game out. Textbook.
So the Longhorns win it. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
For Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in to this broadcast of college basketball on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone, and welcome to this broadcast of college basketball on 2K Sports. The action doesn't get much better than two of the most dynamic teams in college basketball going at it on the hardwood. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. It's the Texas Longhorns facing the UCLA Bruins.
And the thing you love about collegiate sports, the passion, the energy, I mean the competitiveness and that hunger and drive to succeed and show what you have, it's really always a marvel to watch.
No doubt about it, Greg. And seeing these players out here tonight, I remember how the love for the game of basketball in those formative years when I was playing college was so invaluable. I mean, the experience you gain with excellent coaching and mentorship at this level, really a huge part of where you go with your talent.
So on the floor for Texas, Curry in at point guard. Also Ellis out there. Turner is out there with Dort. And it's Ford in at the 4 spot.
And you see a lot of players who are very talented play with a me-first approach. That is not the case with Freak. He doesn't try and attract any unnecessary attention and just focuses on playing his game.
Yeah, I like that about him, Greg. I mean, in a day and age where most guys are self-centered and it's all about me, it's refreshing for a player like Freak who doesn't invite that kind of noise. I mean, that's as impressive as his skill set.
Curry against Free. Curry attacking. UCLA grabs the miss.
Hard to watch UCLA and not think of the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden. Not just his impact on the school, but his place in the history of basketball. He helped put college basketball on the map in a big way. You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one. Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
The legendary John Wooden was the coach at UCLA from 1948 until 1975, and Greg, he built his program from obscurity into one of the most storied programs in the country.
Yeah, I mean, he was a fantastic coach, arguably the best of all time, and even a better person by all accounts. I mean, there's a reason why such great awards carry his namesake, and he coached a lot of the greats in terms of our game.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
A big group substitution here for Texas. Here's Starks.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Thomas checked in for Looney. Johnson the screen. Barton kicks to Johnson. Some nice ball movement by the Bruins. Morris into the lane. And another miss by UCLA. Curry with it. 5 points in the game. And Warwick kicks to Curry. Drops one in from the wing. Curry's got 7. The Texas Longhorns have been building their basketball program over the years. They have been on the verge of greatness for a long time.
I think Texas in general is very decorated in its athletics program. I mean, still looking for their first college basketball championship on the men's side is what they're reaching for.
They've got Thomas. Johnson is out there with Starks. And it's Barton in at the 2 guard. And the Bruins go here with a whole new group out there. Texas. Hello and welcome back. This is college basketball on 2K Sports. And if you're just tuning in, this is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Clark. Kellogg as we get set for the second half.
And while there is a little bit of distance between the two teams, one big run could close the gap in a hurry.
Yeah, I agree with you, Greg. In order to hold on to this lead, they'll need to keep going to Freak to get things working for them offensively. This play in the second half of this game, critical.
On the court for the Longhorns, Curry. He's in at point guard. Also Ellis out there. Doherty out there with Turner. And it's Ford in at the 4. Doherty against Campbell. Free passes to Looney. Here's Free. Here's Fresh. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. And with that, the Longhorn lead is cut down now to just 6 in the basket from Free.
Yeah, starting the second half nicely there. Love those easy lay-ins to get things going.
There's a screen. Ellis with the screen for Curry. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game. Curry's gotten 5 shots to fall in 8 attempts. Well, UCLA and all those incredible national titles in men's basketball, Clark, they were the program in the 60s and 70s.
Yep, completely dominated the landscape of college ball during that time. From 64 to 75, they won 10 titles in 12 seasons.
Hey, guys, thinking again about the Bruins being so dominant during those decades, they set so many records in that time frame, won 88 games in a row, which is still a record for men's basketball.
And you think about the impact those years of dominance have had on UCLA. I mean, still one of the most honored and storied and decorated programs in the United States. I mean, they are the program on the West Coast, although the Wildcats might argue, at least recently.
Now here's what UCLA is going with on the floor. Johnson, he's checked in for Looney. Morris comes in for Campbell. And Barton subbed in for Fresh. Rush, the jump shot from the baseline. Is right on target. Rush has got the lead up to 8 now for the Longhorns. Morris outside. Here's the screen. Johnson the screen. Here's Barton. The 10-footer. Good. Barton's got his second basket.
That is so tough to defend. He'll cross you over in a nanosecond. That move is next to unstoppable.
Richmond with the screen on Free. Here's Curry. It's stolen by Johnson. Curry against Free. Morris outside. Here's Roberts. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Really good work on the interior. That is a critical 2 points there. That was an ideal scenario really for him. Point-blank range and also a size advantage.
Now here's what UCLA is going with on the floor. Looney's checked in for Johnson. Campbell comes in for Morris. Porter's checked in for Barton. And Starks is subbed in for Free. We've got Looney. Starks is out there with Porter. Then there's Campbell. And it's Roberts in at the 5, roaming the paint. Starks outside. They set the pick. Pass to Roberts. There's Looney. There's Porter with the 3. And Curry pulls it down.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
Move the ball. Stick it too much.
And it's blocked. Outside for Davis. Davis sets a screen. Porter with the steal. Fast break UCLA. Campbell the pass to Looney. There's Porter with the 3. And the rebound goes to the Longhorns. Up top, Curry, covered by Starks. And Curry, here we go. And the basket good.
Settle down now.
And it's an 8-point Longhorn lead.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
Timeout.
And some changes here for the Bruins. Fresh is checked in for Porter, and Freeze subbed in for Starks. Jackson, so both teams making some changes here. And so it's Texas with it. It's a 5-point game. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Just absolute domination in this one for Curry. He's got 16 points, and he's put one three-pointer on the board.
You know what, though, Clark? It wouldn't be a bad idea going forward to try to let him do a little more damage from beyond the arc.
Now here's what UCLA is going with on the floor. Roberts is checked in for Irving. Looney comes in for Johnson. And Freeze subbed in for Barton. Kicks it to Roberts. To the left side wing. Shot to stop the run. Sinks it. And now they trail by just 4. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the second half. And now we've got the intentional foul. We've got 28 seconds left in the second half of basketball, and he commits the intentional foul. "27 seconds left in the second half of basketball, and so they choose to intentionally foul. So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
You know, mistakes there. Good free throws to give them just a little bit more cushion.
Here's UCLA. Off the inbound pass, and Curry pulls it down. And that's an intentional foul. And a nice job of nailing the first one of the 1-and-1, so the chance now to make it 2. And so he drops them both. It's an 8-point game. Guys, a comeback probably not in the cards at this point.
Yeah, unless something dramatic and drastic occurs.
Yeah, I think you can put a fork in it.
But they recover it. Morris dishes to Thomas. For 3, no good.
And just no fear, guys. I mean, he is willing to
Thanks for joining us, and hello, college basketball fans. We've got a great night ahead and a couple outstanding teams going at it. We're going to have the pleasure to watch. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners, Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. It's the Michigan Wolverines and the Texas Longhorns.
There is no feeling like a packed house on a college campus. You can just feel the electricity in the air as two major colleges go head-to-head on the hardwood.
And even though this game isn't a must-have game, it feels like a tournament game, a one-and-done type situation. Both of these programs know that a win here could be huge for them as they get ready to make a run in March.
On the court for Michigan, Smith is out there with Ellis. And there's Flash, then it's Jones, and it's Crawford at the shooting guard.
And you look at the long list of former players from the University of Michigan, a lot of big-name NBA players got their start as Wolverines. It's been that way for a long time.
Michigan with the ball, 4-point game.
You know, so often we can forget that these players are student athletes. I mean, Freak does not have that problem. He's an amazing student off the floor and is very dedicated in the classroom.
And how about Freak with a 4.0 GPA, an honor student in high school, and has carried that same work ethic to college as well as he prepares for his games. He truly embodies what it means to be a student athlete. Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
The Wolverines shooting their first free throws of the game. On the free throw, no good. Both teams deciding to change it up. And he's good on the second. And here's Texas. The half-court bomb falls off target. Jones, no one around him, connects from three-point range. Jones has got himself on the board with three there. Outside Curry.
Move the ball. Stick it to him.
Edwards with the screen. It's stolen by Taylor. And now Jones running the floor all by himself. Michigan moving it around. Pass to Knight. Here's Flash. That's good. The assist that time from Knight. And that's now 6 points for Flash.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Here's Curry. He has 6. There's the pick. Will it go? He takes it up and lays it in. Curry's got 8.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
On the court for Michigan. They've got Jefferson. Cunningham is out there with Taylor, and it's Knight in at the 2 spot. And here's Texas. They trail by 1. Right side Curry. The three-pointer is right on target. 11 points in the game.
And Freak has really come out blazing here in the first half, absolutely imposing his will on the opponent.
And Greg, that's what great college players do. I mean, they control the game and really make the opposing defenses adjust to them.
Here's Stevenson. The step-back jumper is good.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
Curry attacking. There's the feed to Hudson. Shoots from the right block. A second chance effort, and it's Curry laying it in. Curry's got 13.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Let's spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
It's a completely new group for Texas. Michigan making some changes. And we welcome you back to college basketball here on 2K Sports as we get ready to get going for the second half of play.
Guys, we had a tight game through the first half. I think we'll see more of the same coming out of the break.
And it's just going to take one big run for one of these teams to establish control. If we can get hot, this team has a great chance of coming away with the victory.
Curry in at point guard. Also Ellis out there. Turner is out there with Dort. And it's Ford in at the power forward. The Wolverines shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. Both free throws good from Crawford. Here's Curry. He's got 13.
One thing with Freak that we know is he makes sure he gets his shots up no matter what. One way or another, he's going to get his workout in, and that's why so many are confident that he'll continue to improve.
Part of it is that he has a twin sister who actually taught him how to play ball. She helped him develop his game and become the player he is today. Pretty nice to have a sibling willing to help you develop your skill set on the court.
On the court for Michigan. They've got Smith. Ellis is out there with Jones. Then there's Flash. And it's Crawford at the shooting guard position.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Now here's Curry. 16 points for him. And it's Michigan with the rebound.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Jones dishes to Smith. Now the pass to Flash for the lead. Out to Smith. Puts up a three. And yes, sir, that one drops.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
Unloads from 13. Score that one for him. His 8th field goal. 8 for 11. And a very accurate night.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending it.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
There's the screen. Here's Curry. Rebounded by Flash.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
And with Freak, he takes a lot of pride in where he hails from. Didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his hand.
So Michigan ends up going with the new group. Curry, he's in at point guard. Also Ellis out there. Doherty out there with Turner. And it's Ford in at the power forward position. Curry with it. And Crawford picks him up defensively. And Curry with the stop.
How about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
And we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Let's spread the floor and isolate up top. Spacing, fellas. Spacing.
Michigan making some changes. Jones comes in for Cunningham. And Flash is subbed in for Banks. 1:11 left in the second half of basketball. Smith kicks to Crawford. Ellis the pass to Crawford. Michigan moving it around. Here's Flash, guarded by Kerr. Back to Crawford. He dishes it to Jones. Pass to Flash. It's Crawford on the wing. Ford against Ellis. Goes up again. Yes!
That was massive.
You know it. He's stepping right into the spotlight there.
27 seconds left here in the second half. Curry attacking. He feeds it to Ford. Launches a three. The three won't fall. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. And so the first one is good. He'll stay at the line for one more try. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. It's Curry with the drive. Oh, he can't jam it home. And so it's Michigan winning this one. They break the heart. And this is where it's at, folks. The college tournament ends here tonight. For one team, the joy of a lifetime will be achieved. And there's no doubt going to be some incredible action all along the way. Joined in the booth with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. We'll see the Wisconsin Badgers and the Texas Longhorns.
Kevin, this is the night where we are going to see some intense basketball. High energy, lay it all out on the line for college hoops. Everything these young players have worked towards their entire life comes down to this exact moment.
And you can bet, Clark, that each and every player here tonight feels the importance of this game like no other in their lives, really. A big key in coming through in a big game like this is how well you can compose yourself. How do you handle the pressure of the big stage? We'll find out soon enough which of these teams has the ability to harness all of that raw energy and focus on getting the job done.
Let's check out Wisconsin's starting lineup. Hill is out there with Hawkins. Then it's Decker, then it's Kaminsky, and it's Evans in at the power forward.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him. And with any championship game, you know that every player is going to have their heart racing for the first few minutes. That's just natural. That's adrenaline. They'll need to remain calm, though, and let the game come to them and kind of ease into it.
And one guy, guys, I'll keep an eye on in this one is Freak. He is the consummate leader for his team. He can come out strong and play his game while keeping his intensity level up. It'll be just what they need to claim the title.
Stop me.
And not many people know. But the Badgers do have one college title in their trophy case. Won the tournament back in 1941. A different time back then, but a title nevertheless.
Hill, no good.
Hey, I like creativity and a circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
Curry kicks to Ford. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. And for that 1941 title you mentioned, Greg, for the Badgers, it was actually their first invitation to the College Tournament Club.
How about that for a first impression?
Yeah, not bad.
Not too bad at all. Prior to their recent run of success, that was their lone bright spot as a program.
And the Badgers with possession here. Trailing by 2, and the basket by Hill.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play. And as we see Freak and his team go for the title here, he is trying to repeat what he did just a year ago. He was able to lead his high school to the PSAL championship.
Well, Greg, he was a 4-time All-American selection in high school, and a unanimous one at that. He's won state titles before, but this is a different animal than high school.
Curry in at shooting guard. He's out there with Edwards, and it's Warwick in at the 4 spot. They get it back. Wade, and that one is stuffed right through.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength, just like that.
Yeah, he's an invaluable asset for them to have. No question about it.
And for the Badgers, Fisher is out there with Hill. And it's Gibson in at the power forward position.
Not phased at all by having a bigger defender on him down low. And I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation. But, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Texas? It's a completely new group for Texas. There's 53 seconds left to play in the first half. Curry, he's in at point guard. Also Ellis out there. And it's Warwick in at the 5. Conley dishes to Fisher. Richmond with the steal. And here we go with Curry running it up the court.
And what a journey it has been, really, for this whole team to make it to the college championship, especially for Freak. A few bumps in the road for him, but what a story.
Greg, you get the feeling that it's only the beginning. I mean, the way he plays and the accolades he has, I mean, you can see him having a long and productive career at the pro level.
And for the Badgers, they've got Dawkins. Fisher is out there with Hill. And it's Conley in at the small forward. Evans setting the pick for Hill. And again, it's the Badgers missing. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Longhorns out front as they wrap up the second quarter on a 14-6 run. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the second half. Just one half of basketball left to determine. And the big game is just about ready to get going for our second half of play. What a championship atmosphere we've got here tonight. We are just one half of basketball away from seeing college basketball history being made.
And in a championship game like this one, guys, you would have expected a close battle. I don't think either side is going to be able to run away and hide in this one.
And, Greg, tight games like this are where legends are born. I mean, if a player like Freak can come up huge in this final half of play, he'll anchor himself in school history as one of the greats to ever play the game.
Curry in at point guard. Also Ellis out there. Turner is out there with Dort. And it's Ford in at the 4 slot. And Wisconsin looking at who they've got. We've got Hawkins. He's out there with Hill. Decker is out there with Kaminsky. And it's Evans in at the 4. And with that, the Longhorn lead is cut down to just 2 points in the bucket from Decker.
And guys, one big story that we have in this championship game is that a guy like Freak could boost his draft stock quite a bit. A win here could catapult him up the big boards of a lot of teams.
And you know, while it's just one game, scouts will get a chance to see how he plays on the big stage. Knowing a player is at his best when the lights are brightest is a big plus in GM's books.
Pass to Hawkins. Hill is screen on Curry. To the left wing. There's Decker. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. And Curry, here we go. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
You know, sometimes
Tape up.
Here's Hill. Curry in at 2 guard. Doherty out there with Turner. And it's Blair in at the 1 spot. Curry brings the double. Decker passes to Hill. Left side Walker. 13 feet away. And that one goes long.
this game's still very much up in the air. I mean, this is where you start to separate the men from the boys and where heroes are born.
And one team looking to ice the win, the other hoping to force OT. I think right now you lean on your stars and get the ball to Freak every chance you get to try and come away here with the title.
Pulls it up. And the shot is good. The Badger lead has been cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Curry.
Yeah, clutch basket, even with him being on the short end of the stick, size-wise.
Really, Greg, just shows you the toughness and determination this man has. Impressive.
All the officials are all over that.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
Ellis, he's checked in for Texas. Evans, he's checked in for Wisconsin.
Needed those and got it. Terrific job at the line under pressure.
That's good.
Big three right there. I mean, I got to say, defensive breakdown, no doubt. They've got to have a bigger man on him.
You know, one of the big questions on everybody's mind in this game is whether or not Freak will stay on for another year or go pro. I mean, usually a player with his upside would be a lock to be a one and done, but he's giving serious thought to staying.
And Freak is a guy who clearly values the scholastic aspect of collegiate sports. So it makes sense for him to think about staying beyond this season. Still, with Freak's draft stock rising, this could be his final game as a collegiate player.
It's Curry outside. And Turner kicks to Curry. And again, it's Texas converting.
And how about the execution, really when it matters most? He knew he had the height advantage and just got the job done. No need to pass in that situation.
A shot by Kaminsky. Nobody around. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
They've been splashing home those threes since halftime.
Marked improvement in their shooting from what we saw to start the game. Such a height mismatch out on the perimeter, and they give up the triple.
Here's Hawkins. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul. Stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 3-point game. And here's Texas. Curry outside. Rebounded by Kaminsky. Hill with it. Evans at the elbow. Misses off the right iron.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
What a bucket at one of the more crucial moments of the game.
How about the cool, collected way in which he delivered it? Clutch.
Big-time basket there on the inside. I mean, he had to get that one up and over the big guy.
Way up and over the big guy, and what a time in the ball game to make it happen.
And the Badgers with possession here. The lead is 2, and now they decide to foul intentionally.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure, it's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
And I don't need to tell you guys, those free throws are big. Two-possession game now.
Here's Curry with the three. Yes! And that shot brings them to within just one. And an intentional foul right there. And no problem there in the first free throw. 1-1 situation, so he'll get another. So he gets them both, and it's a three-point game.
Yeah, those free throws make things a little more simpler right now. They just have to guard against the three-pointer.
Latrey off target from downtown. So it's Wisconsin picking up the win. Such a special moment for these kids. All the hard work they put in, all the pressure break they've been under all tournament long.
Hello?
Hey, Ma, it's me.
Hey, Frequency.
I got you on speakerphone.
Okay, your sister there?
Hey, Mama, I'm right here.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Yvette's here too, Mama.
Hi, Mama. How you doing? I'm fine.
Does she have to be here?
Yes. Mr. Pagnotti, the agent I was telling you.
Good evening and welcome to the NBA Draft. With the first pick in the NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Karl Anthony Towns from the University of Kentucky. With the second pick in the NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select D'Angelo Russell from The Ohio State University. With the third pick in the NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Jahlil Okafor from Duke University. With the fourth pick in the NBA Draft, the New York Knicks select Kristaps Porzingis from Latvia. With the fifth pick in the NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select Mario Hezonja from Dubrovnik, Croatia. With the sixth pick in the NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Willie Cauley-Stein from the University of Kentucky. With the seventh pick in the NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Emmanuel Mudiay. With the eighth pick in the NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Stephen Curry from the University of Texas.
Let's do this, young man.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Frequency Vibration.
We met working at the post office together. Mark was the clerk, and I was a carrier. And I asked her out to lunch one time and take her for a bagel around the corner from where we worked.
A bagel?
A bagel, yeah.
With cream cheese?
Cream cheese.
Split down the middle?
Split down the middle. Love at first sight.
Yeah?
I believe that it was true. It happened to me.
All right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
Here we go, my first NBA game. This is something I've been waiting for my entire life. And to be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. But I know this is where I belong. So I just gotta get out there and do what I was born to do. I hope I can make my family proud.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. The moment happening right now, folks, and the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, a special individual taking to the hardwood as we'll get to watch the first official NBA appearance from Curry.
You know, and what a huge moment this is for him. I mean, your whole life has been spent leading up to this, and finally he's going to get to take the court in the NBA. I mean, his mind has to be racing like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, there are all different kinds of pressure situations. This is about as nerve-wracking as it gets. Even so, I don't think it takes away from how much he enjoys it.
On the court for the Pistons, Curry. He's in at point guard. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is out there with Aaron Baines. And there's Jackson, and it's Drummond in at the pivot, manning the middle. Here's Schroeder. It's Drummond with the rebound. Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of the great Tim Hardaway Sr., had a very good rookie season. However, last season, Clark, not the improvement that some were hoping to see on him.
Kevin, you knew the expectations were going to be high going forward, very high. But sometimes you step back before you move forward. He only shot 39% last season, very low for a guy of his caliber.
There's 48 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Again, Curry missing.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
And the trend they'd love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
Detroit leading by 5. And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid in anything when it comes to basketball.
The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. Pistons lead by 5. 2K. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game. You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of play. So the panel will go for a different look here. Splitters checked in for Horford. Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. Justin Holiday's checked in for Cephalosha. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Jeff Teague. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Andre Drummond's checked in for Ilyasova. Aaron Baines comes in for Morris. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Johnson. And Curry subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Kyle Korver. Then it's Mike Scott. Then it's Splitter. And it's Holiday in at the 3. So that's the lineup for Atlanta. And that... the very first basket right there, folks, of what is hopefully a very long... and a very prosperous career from Curry.
You know, there we have it, the first taste of this young man's scoring prowess, showing he can handle NBA defense.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's the NBA that's going to have to show it can handle him, not the other way around. He's ready.
And, guys, you hear about how the Hawks are the jokingly referred to as the Spurs of the East. It has to do with their coach, Mike Budenholzer, who's really brought that philosophy here to Atlanta.
Just 5 to shoot, and it's Baines missing.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Holiday, the pass to Schroeder. Splitter sets a screen. And Scott now, top of the key. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. On for Coach Budenholzer, Greg. He did spend 19 years with the Spurs, so it makes a lot of sense. Clark, he won 4 titles during his time there in San Antonio.
And, Kevin, you can really see how he's adapted and brought the motion offense over to this team, and it's worked well for the Hawks. You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle crews.
There's 21 seconds left to play here in the half. They set the pick. Here's Schroeder. And Curry pulls it down.
Boy, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Pistons ahead. They lead by 5. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for Morris. He has 11 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
And when it's all said and done, I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to have a few more.
Atlanta making some changes. Splitters checked in for Horford. Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Thabo Sefolosha. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope comes in for... Ilyasova. Reggie Jackson's checked in for Meeks, and Curry subbed in for Brandon Jennings. On the floor for Detroit, Curry in at point guard. Aaron Baines out there with Marcus Morris. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and it's Jackson in at the 2 spot. And the one thing Tiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles, he knows where he's supposed to be, he gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges. He does all the little stuff.
And the lead's not getting any smaller. Just an incredibly well-rounded performance here on the road.
And how good a feeling is that for this team to dominate the way they did in front of a hostile crowd? That is a satisfying feeling for the victors.
Out left to the wing. Here's Caldwell-Pope, and a great assist by Curry as that one goes in.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And, Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the other is just kind of stagnant.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens. And so it's Detroit with the W. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it.
Hey.
Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And coming up next, the postgame show with Ernie Johnson, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
And Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Let's take a look at our Jordan.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.
Coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're gonna be there. Playing in front of them in an NBA uniform for the first time is gonna be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's gonna be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And I'll be ready.
It's the Eastern Conference on display featuring the Detroit Pistons. Well, before you look ahead to your busy week, sit down, relax, pull up a chair as we bring you another NBA broadcast. And thanks for sharing part of your weekend with us. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and courtside Doris Burke. Here's Jack. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Cavaliers in Cleveland.
And don't forget his unbelievable steal total in that game. I mean, almost to the point they didn't want to bring the ball up the floor.
And that one's good.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
That's right.
And that sends Freak to the free throw line. That's going to be on Jarrett Jack. Well, with Coach Stan Van Gundy, it was a very successful first year in Detroit. He's a guy who's going to build around defense. That's been his MO.
And Van Gundy has always been a defensive first type guy, Kevin. I mean, the last 30 years he's has probably the best defensive efficiency for a career as a coach, and his teams always play with great emphasis on that side of the ball.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number one for them right now.
Curry kicks to Meeks. 4 on the shot clock. And the foul called on Freak. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, he was boxed out and tried to get the rebound the only way he could.
Yeah, he got straight over the back and on top of him there, too. So nothing subtle about that one.
Here's Bogdanovich. No good. And Detroit the other way now. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And it gave those opposing fans a boost every time another foul shot clanged off the rim. I mean, that's an easy way to get the home crowd in your grill.
Count the bucket.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for the Pistons. 7-second difference, shot and game clock.
Dude, right now you can't even catch a pass? I can never get a good team. So done. Give me my... Pistons are so trash. Can't even catch a bounce pass.
Outside check. And a foul on the shot.
How's that a foul?
It's going to be on Freak. Burnett shooting their first free throw.
That's BS. That should be whole defense, bro. What is you tweaking on? It's not even a foul. That's defense.
He's checked in for Bargnani. Young comes in for Thomas Robinson. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Hollis Jefferson. And Ellington is subbed in for Bogdanovich. On the court for the Pistons, Curry in at shooting guard. Marcus Morris is out there with Johnson. Then there's Jennings, and it's Ilyasova in at the 5, patrolling the paint. And a breakdown here, guys, the hustle stats for the Pistons.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And the other thing they've done well is they've run the shooters off their sweet spots. They've really closed out well and forced them to put the basketball on the floor.
Morris dishes to Jennings. Morris a screen, shot from the wing, and it's good. Now it's a 3-point
Well, I swear.
Piston lead.
What is that making me get in C- for when I'm just dribbling? It's not my fault I'm trying to get badges. I'm not gonna spend the money on a stupid game when he will let me connect.
Always a decent threat to score. His improvements in efficiency were amazing.
Right here, yo. What is it?
47% in only 1 year.
And Curry, here we go.
Get on my face. You can't handle this. Not even dribbling.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Johnson, the pass to Lopez.
Oh my God. Why is it not sticking?
Lopez has got 6.
This is so like 2K17. In part, wins.
Right side Curry. Left side Jennings.
What is you? Oh my God!
The kick out to Ilyasova.
Oh, I swear, y'all are so irritating and trash. Y'all got the nerve to take my stuff down, but you won't even pass me the ball.
Guys, just look at the turnover stats in that game. You're not going to win giving it up as many
Look
times
at them! I'm so done!
You play an even tougher brand of defense on your end and force more turnovers for the other side. That's the only way.
Oh my God!
And Jack
Cause I promise you, y'all are so trash.
The shot will not go. And the Pistons now going the other way. On its way from Curry for 2. It's stolen by Johnson.
Y'all can't even get a pass! So, bruh, that's so gay.
Here in the second quarter.
Y'all can't even catch a pass, bro.
Ellington dishes to Johnson. From 15 feet away, rebounded by the Pistons. They're getting their first look of the season at the Nets in this one.
Yeah, and a 4-game season series between these two. Both will be looking to set the tone tonight.
Yeah, and as they renew acquaintances, if you're the underdog, you always want to show, hey, we've got something new up our sleeve. Should be fun.
From the line, it's all in by Ilyasova. Detroit's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Curry, good.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
I'm probably about to make some 2K17 by my sharp. So when 2K19 comes, I got y'all. Oh my god, it's so trash, bruh. This team. Yeah, I just want to slap this team in the face. They're just so trash. Why do they always put me on the trashest team, bro? Dang, I can't never get no Bulls, no LeBron, none of that. I'm not, bro. It's like, oh my god, it's so trash. Okay, I don't care. It's still trash, bro.
Thomas Robinson comes in for Thaddeus.
Oh my god, we was in the lead. We was in the lead. How do we? Oh my god, what I tell y'all, bro? If the Nets beat us, bro, I promise you I'm never playing this game ever again.
Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Jackson. And Curry subbed in for Brandon Jennings.
Thank you. Let me get ankle breaker. I promise you, I'm catching. Can't even shoot a freaking. I can't even shoot a freaking. What's the name, yo? Why can I not shoot this?
Last season was one of improvement.
Finally hit.
They were able to shoot the ball better
Oh my god.
and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Johnson up top, 5 points in the game.
You keep trying to trouble. You're not me. Bro, what? Oh my god, how?
Johnson's got the game tied up here for Brooklyn. As I said, Greg, the Pistons were a team that showed marked improvement.
What the hell? What is it? Oh my god.
Yeah, they got better from 2014 to 15 in terms of upping their assists and cutting down the turnovers. Just made it a much more enjoyable game to watch the way they play.
Kicks to Bogdanovich. And he's going up for the alley-oop. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
Thank you for being the dumbest person of all time. I really...
Let's see which rookies are tops in assists. Freak, third.
A number of gifted passers entering the NBA this season, and he's right up there among the very best. I like what I've seen from him as a
Yo, I swear, you could have just passed that back too, dummy. Whatever now.
Is definitely pointing up as a playmaker.
Johnson, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. After the Nets' big moves the past couple years, they were looked at as an older team, but you break it down, and you know, Greg, they're not as old as you think.
Actually had the 5th youngest team of anyone in the postseason. And so, though they seem older just because so many of their players had playoff experience or came into the league at a young age, just not much success when it comes to shooting.
There's 25 seconds left in the third. Johnson kicks to Bogdanovich. Back to Johnson. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will take possession. 9 seconds left in the third quarter. Just 4 to shoot. Off the mark from 16 feet out.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom.
Still won't pop in that. Not Curry yet. Upgrades. Cause everybody else home full fighting. I know you're trash, so yeah, please.
And it's Thomas Robinson in for Joe Johnson. And then for Detroit, Andre Drummond comes in for Johnson. And Curry subbed in for Brandon Jennings. On the court for the Pistons, Curry in at point guard. Ilyasova out there with Andre Drummond. And there's Jackson. And it's Morris at the
bro, they take my C+ away, bro.
Well, this is just too big.
I don't know how hard it is just to get a C+.
There's just not enough time left on the clock to make up the ground they have to make up.
Everybody look come full fighting. Oh my god. Oh, I swear. Thank you. Yes, yes, thank you. Thank you very much, my sir.
Just absolute
Come on, baby.
domination in
Let's
this one
kung
for
fu
Curry. He has 17 points,
fighting.
and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
I hope you know I will make a free throw. You're tricking if you die. I'm gonna make it a free throw. Yeah, you're throwing.
Just too much of a deficit to overcome.
It is game. That's all.
Ticks left on that clock.
What? Oh, I'm done. Oh, bro, how? Bro, I swear, y'all irritating. You legit let this man get the rebound, bro. So done with this team.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
I just had a B minus.
Here are the Pistons with the ball. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
.20 seconds left in the fourth
Just had a
quarter.
whole B
Ellington
minus,
from
though.
outside. It's Drummond with the rebound. Right side Curry. Outside Jackson to the paint. Deflects the pass. And so the Pistons take the
Why
win.
did they stop trying to steal it? How do I have 200 and some points, bruh? So irritating. 21 points, 3 rebounds. I didn't get a block steal assist. I wish I should have, but still.
The 2K
That's so
Sports
stupid.
post-game
Irritating.
show.
I hate this team, yo.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan Player of the Game, Freak. He notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
How about the show Freak was putting on tonight? It was a freak show. That's one of the smartest basketball players I've ever seen. Being able to use either hand and being as skilled as he is poses so many problems out there. But as modest as he is, he's not going to gloat even though he's having a great performance. He's going to just go right back out there, get to work for the next game.
Well, you got to love it when he gets this jolt off the bench. It was a wake-up call we were looking for after losing their previous 2 games. Starting 5 needed a boost, so they turned to him, and he produced.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, living the dream. Mad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell, and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives,
Tell you about Vic. He has his back.
DJ Khaled. Convict music. We the best. We taking over. Listen. Spread out with it. South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi.
Can't believe the regular season's done. Some of those games I can barely remember, but we did it. We made the playoffs. And tonight, I make my postseason debut. I wasn't sure I'd be here as a rookie, but I can't wait to see what this team can do. Like KG said, anything's possible. So let's go chase that title.
Capacity crowd here at the United Center. Welcome, everyone. The regular season is in the books. The battle for the East begins. Round one, game one. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my colleagues Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Take a look at the Bulls. So important in a 7-game series. And so here is Indiana. They trail by 1. Curry against Brooks. And Curry, here we go. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
For Chicago, they have been excellent at the free throw line. Here today, a flawless 6 for 6. The first free throw is good. Both shots good from the stripe.
Boy, I tell you what, he does not look like your typical big man up there at the line. He has an excellent stroke and a percentage to match.
There's 1:40 left here in the opening quarter. And this gives us a chance to look at the point guards who had the most success from before in the regular season. Freak number 1.
And he's been even more accurate with his shooting than he's been with his passing. Just a terrific percentage from the field.
And Greg, this isn't a power forward we're talking about. I mean, this is a point guard. He's knocking down shots from 20 feet like they were layups.
Brooks kicks to Mirotic. Mirotic the screen. Brooks with no one around. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. Brooks has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. On its way from Curry for 2. The offensive rebound, and the shot is good from Stuckey.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
The drive by Brooks, and Gibson wide open. He shoots. Makes no mistake on the open jump shot.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet.